Hello, bit of progress. I have got some scenics down on this area at last. I've been putting it off, but this tunnel scene entrance is starting to look a little bit better. I hope you agree. All I've done here is use a variety of different methods. This is kind of like my test area, I think, really more than anything, just testing out different approaches. Still, this is my go-to that I learnt from watching Mouldy Raspberry, of course. This is actually I didn't buy any polyfiber. I've still got this stuff from said delivery of food service that I'm not going to advertise. But yeah, it comes with it. I've literally got 1, 2, 3, 4 reams of it, so I could make these. I could make these things to cover the whole layout if I wanted to. But that's just teased out, sprayed with green, matte paint, and then what do I do? Hairspray, and then use the various scatters from obviously the overpriced people, these guys, that actually look okay. And actually, what I should say, I said overpriced. I'm going to admit that I have used Temu, and the stuff on Temu that costs like £3, which is here. It's fantastic. It's great. I mean, it's just as good. So I don't know what everyone. I don't know. I know there's some people that are really anti Temu, but do you know what? That product is as good as the ones from larger manufacturers, from my experience anyway. So yeah, just basically creating a bit of a rough look around here. Embankment, unkept embankment. It'll come up from the station area here. I've put one seafoam tree in here. It's a bit wibbly on the end, on the top, but I think it looks all right. And then there will be trees going all the way up here. So obviously the back scene will be shielded out. The cows have had a bit of a matte paint. They have also been dirtied up a little bit. You probably can't tell. Oh yeah, you can in these ones. So these ones are a little bit dirtier. They're down in the mud. This guy's enjoying the sunshine up top here. I think I'm done with the scenics up here. The only thing I do want to put in here is like a muddy patch, where the animals tend to congregate, and a little feeding station where will probably be in the middle here, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything up there. It's kind of the view that you get down here anyway, so it kind of adds a little bit to the layout. Over here, I have added, or started to add, more seafoam trees. Such as I'll show in a minute, but such as the stock of seafoam at the moment, the only real trees you can actually model are these, like fir trees, conifers and firs. There's 2 at the back, 2 larger trees where I was able to get kind of a good shape from the pack, but that's 2 full boxes, so that's nearly 40 quid's worth of seafoam, and I've only got really 2 decent trees out of it, which again just reminds me why I'm trying to grow my own, because the ones that I grew myself were the right shape last year. They worked. In fact, I think this was one of them. So yeah, if you're wondering what these are, this is where I tried to randomly put them, but actually looking at it through here, it's all in a line. But I was trying to look at what nature does, and you tend to get things fall from the tree very close, and then it grows up. So they are quite tightly packed for a reason. This will, the whole scene here will be all trees essentially up this side of the embankment. What else have I got around here? Yes, so this tree's had a bit of a facelift. I used a bit of PVA with the ground texture mix. That's the brown tile grout and earth blend mixed in. Yeah, just kind of painted that on, and I think it makes a big difference actually. And I've just kind of reshaped it a little bit as a tree. It's long and spindly. You do see long and spindly trees, and I think when this has actually got over here, this will have all of the bushes and things kind of leading up to it, I think it actually fit in quite well, because this would be an overgrown area as well. That whole embankment needs to be a lot more overgrown than it actually is at the moment. Then this colourful chap doesn't look this colourful in real life. Actually, in real life, he's quite a nice mottled green, but for some reason it's come out quite yellowy on the camera. I think it still looks alright though. This was actually using Das clay. So I've just been experimenting with different types of bark and things. So this is the Das clay method, painted. I still need to kind of give it a bit of, you see the green where I used a bit of spray paint there. So I just need to go over that with some dry brushing. I think probably will bring it out quite nicely. We've still got, we've got a little tractor, by the way. There's a tractor now that's been moved in. Somebody's gone into the shed and locked themselves in. There's this tree, which is still my favourite. Great shape to it and fits really well into that corner. But I still need to do scenics on that area. Good luck getting there. I mean, there's just an absolute mess down there. So at the moment I'm working over in this corner. The idea would be to get to a stage where I can get the ballast down, and then once I've got the ballast down, then I can build this part here. So what was going to happen here, we won't be able to view it like this again. So this hillside would come down to the edge of the fascia here. So this is going to be a hillside coming down. So the only view you're going to get is one like this through what will be an embankment going into the tunnel. So that's looking forward to that. Actually, I think that's going to be a good scene. So this will all be, in fact, right up to here, and then I'll bring it up to the station, and this will sort of be where the hillside comes down to the station, because it's got a little bit of a lip there, and then here will be the livestock pen. This is just a temporary one at the moment, so I know this isn't very popular. Well, this type of fence wasn't what was used for livestock pens. So, but at the moment, it's just to kind of show or visualize where it will be. So this will come up to about here, and the entrance to that. So the animals would come through from the fields into it from here. Then I'm probably going to do some more grass area around the back here and fencing over to the station area. Actually pretty happy with how the booking hall's looking over here now. I think it looks, yeah, let me know your thoughts, but I think it looks brilliant now. I've kind of redone the decoration of it and redone the mortar. I think it looks great. It really starts to fit that scene quite well. Then if I stop there and go back around, oh yes, I will show. So I have been experimenting with the trees. As I said, this is the remaining good types of trees that I could find, and there's a couple of big ones over here, but you see they're all pointed. So I don't know what was up the growth of seafoam this year, but every single box has been the same. I say every single, that's the 2 boxes I bought. Here is my latest attempt. Now this was using, I don't know if you can make it out, but it kind of looks like, well, I tried to make it look a bit more like bark by using a sandpaper on what is hot glue. So the idea is you do your wire armature and then you hot glue it, which still gives it some flexibility. There's still some flexibility in it. And then once the hot glue is set, you take a really coarse sandpaper to it, going down, as in the grain of the wood. And it works quite well. I mean, it's that's my first attempt last night to do that. And obviously this is just an armature at the moment, but once I get some decent seafoam, I will be able to sort of make a decent tree out of this one, I think. I don't know if you can sort of make it out, but there's a light bit of texture on it where I've used the sandpaper to create the bark effect. Yeah, so from a scene perspective, I haven't done anything over here. This is still the river area. There's no trees or bushes over here, but of course this will have bushes. This whole river area, the plan is for this to be almost like covered up in bushes, as you'd see in real life. It's not this isn't a river where people often go to, so this is all going to be trees, and I think a weeping willow somewhere, maybe over this side, I don't know. I'll work that out once I sort out where the camera views are best. But yeah, that's it. Here's my update. My horticultural update is that there's some growth, not much growth, but these are the seafoam trees that I've been growing from seed. I have got a couple more going. There's a couple coming out, but the rest are struggling to germinate. I mean, they are hard. They are really hard to grow. I do understand why they're expensive, because they are hard to grow, but yeah, I'm hoping if I use my technique of just chuck it out the window in March, that will probably be the best approach, because that's what nature seemed to do quite well with last year, is that I just chucked it out, got fed up with them and just chucked them out the window, and then they grew after all of that effort that I put in. So yeah, that's it. I will leave things there. And then next up is point rodding. So this, I'll be honest, there's a lot of advice from some people on RM Web, because if you're not following me on RM Web, please do, so you can follow along and comment, because I put some pictures up there and updates and ask questions. So yeah, if you are a member of that, or you're not and you want to, then please join in. It's quite interesting to get other people's point of view. But I don't know this stuff. I'm not a signal engineer. I've got no idea how all this works, but I've learned a little bit more now. And it's just plucking up the courage now to put this stuff down, and you know, because I want to make sure that I get things relatively correct. So is this the right way of doing the runs with the crank arms as they come out, I guess. So you know, you've got the 90-degree one, and then you've got the curved ones after. I just need to plan it out, I think. Once I get that point rodding down, over here is kind of the easy, I think this is the easy station, and then over at Shelfington, it's going to be a longer run, so I think the signal box is going to go around here, and then it's going to have to run all the way over to the other side. So I have got the extension kit, so you know, considering this stuff's plastic, again, it's quite expensive, isn't it? But there's no other alternative other than making it yourself with some plastic, which I don't think would look as good. So you are kind of beholden to the Wheels kits here, and there's nobody else that does it, so it's good enough, and that will go down. There's a new loco, Oliver Berry, which I've marked yellow. If you don't know my colour coding, yellow means you know, it's not a great runner, needs a bit of work. And then these ones are green, of course, because they're fine. But yeah, this one, really nice bloke, local to me. He's actually based in Winchester, so yeah, thank you, Chris, if you are watching. I know you said you're not really a YouTube watcher, but if you do end up watching, then keep an eye out, and I will get this running, because I know you've had this on the shelf for quite a while now. I think it was 12 years he's had this, collected it. So he's a collector, not a runner, by his own admission. It worked really well. The only thing it struggled with is I think there's a stiff crank arm or something. I don't know what it is that's causing it, and I need to have a look at it. But you know, it runs, but if you run it slowly, you could see where it's actually getting caught up. I might actually put a video of that in this update anyway. So yeah, we'll show that. And yeah, and Chris, when he said he was collecting these things, he also then showed me this whopping great big 9F that he had in his hallway, which was pretty impressive, that he got from auction. So yeah, hi Chris, thank you for that, and keep an eye out for the update if you are watching. So that's it for now. I will catch you later. Hope everyone's all right. Take care. Bye.